and play on 2nd and 10. That's his youth right there.
Tagovailoa trying to make up for it. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins!
Today I'll be continuing with my college football schedule preview and point spread prediction videos with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So I think Notre Dame has the easiest schedule in the country in 2026. It's even easier than it was last year because last year they played at Texas A&M. But Notre Dame is going to be a preseason AP top 10 team. And there's only one team on this schedule that will also be a preseason top 10 team, and that's Miami. And there's only three teams on the schedule that will be preseason AP top 25 teams. BYU and SMU being the other two besides Miami. And this schedule is easy enough that I think 12-0 is possible, but I do think it is unlikely that Notre Dame will win all three of Miami, BYU, and SMU. But 10 wins, I would say, is a lock for Notre Dame. But if Notre Dame does what they did last year, which is go 10-2 and lose to Miami, I think that they will miss out on the college football playoff again, unless there's just not very many really good teams. But if Notre Dame goes at 10-2 and they beat Miami, even if they have an embarrassing loss, I still think they will go to the college football playoff, assuming Miami doesn't fall off much. But BYU is not the team that you would want to play if you're going to play a Big 12 team, because, well, BYU has not been the best team in the Big 12 conference either one of the last 2 years. They have been the best team overall these last 2 years in the Big 12, and they play a similar style of football to Notre Dame. They love to run the football, and they're physical, and they play good defense. They're just less talented than Notre Dame is, which is why Notre Dame will be favored in that game. But the two group of five opponents, Rice and Navy, those are 100% sure wins for Notre Dame. And one of the few bad things on this schedule is where the bye week comes before the Navy game. But I'm 99% sure that Notre Dame will win the games of Wisconsin, Michigan State, Purdue, North Carolina, Stanford, Boston College, and Syracuse. And all of these teams except Syracuse that I just named, I'm very confident are going to be bad in 2026. Syracuse, the first year under their coach Fran Brown, they went 10-3, which is about as good as it gets for them. But then in the second year, which was this past season, they flipped the record the other way around to 3-9. Now Syracuse is not supposed to be a very good team in 2026, but even if they were able to return to what they were in 2024, they're still going to be well below Notre Dame. The unusual thing about this schedule is that Notre Dame is not playing at USC, and Notre Dame USC has been a big rivalry for a long time in college football, and this is the first time in 81 years that the two teams will not play. But it's not a permanent end to the rivalry. It's only a 2-year pause. But canceling rivalries like this for even 1 year is bad for college football. I'm an Ole Miss fan, and even though I've joked about how because Mississippi State has become so bad, that's hardly even a rivalry anymore. I would be very upset if the Egg Bowl was even canceled for 1 year. And I know if you're a Notre Dame or a USC fan, you can't be happy about this. So I read that the rivalry's being paused because college football playoff hopes could be hurt. But USC head coach Lincoln Riley blamed Notre Dame for the rivalry pausing, saying that USC would be happy to play Notre Dame anywhere and at any time over the next 2 years, but I know that can't be true. USC had to have been the ones that canceled this rivalry because Notre Dame is too physical of a team for them to handle. For example, the last time they played, USC had the better quarterback and better receivers, but Notre Dame pushed them around all night on both sides of the line of scrimmage, so they won the game. And you know that it wasn't Notre Dame that canceled this rivalry because Notre Dame scheduled a home and home series with BYU in place of USC. So they would not be playing BYU if they were playing USC. And BYU has been a much better team these past couple of years than USC has. And why would Notre Dame be scared of USC anyway? Because they beat the crap out of them the last 3 years. So now for the point spread prediction. So if there is a minus at the beginning of the spread, that means that Notre Dame is the favorite, and I have them being the favorite in all of their games. So 20 plus spread, that means it's a blowout, and there's nine of those. Wisconsin, Rice, Michigan State, Purdue, North Carolina, Stanford, Navy, Boston College, and Syracuse. And 10 to 19 means a medium spread. And there's one of those, SMU. 6 to 9 is the close spread, and there's one of those, BYU. And 1 to 5 is a very close, almost toss-up spread, and there's one of those, Miami. So if I had to guess the exact spreads for these games right now, I'd say Notre Dame would be a 24 point favorite over Wisconsin, and a 40 point favorite over Rice, and a 25 point favorite over Michigan State. And Purdue, I would say Notre Dame would be favored by about 4 touchdowns. And North Carolina, and I'd say the spread in that one would be about exactly 20 points because they have two big names now on their coaching staff. Bill Belichick being the biggest one, but now they've also got Bobby Petrino, who's not really a big name head coach, but a big name as an offensive genius. But Stanford, I'd say Notre Dame will be favored by about 4 touchdowns, and Navy, I'd say the spread will be about 30 points. And Boston College, I'd say Notre Dame will be favored by about 4 touchdowns. and Syracuse, because Notre Dame beat them 70-7 last season. While there's no chance that Notre Dame would be favored by 60 something points against another Power Four team, no matter how good they are or how bad Syracuse is, and a lot will be known about both teams at this point. I do see Notre Dame being favored in that one by about 4 touchdowns. And BYU, because it's a road game, I'd say Notre Dame would be favored by 7 points in it. But if that was at home, it would just barely make it in the 10 to 19 range. And Miami, that one I'll say because it's a home game, Notre Dame will be favored by a point. And but if that was a road game, I'd have Miami favored by a field goal. And I think there's a good chance when it comes time for this game to be played that Miami is a small favorite, or even it being a complete toss up. And SMU, I'd say Notre Dame will be favored by about 14 points. And so that'll be it with this video. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.